Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is CRAZEDsomething here once again. Basically, we're gonna be talking about I'm starting a new series called Save Yo Cash. Yeah, it's gonna be called that. Save Yo Cash. I want it to feel gangsta, but no. Basically, I will be talking about games that I have played and my past experiences on them, and if they're worth your money. It's basically like, should I buy this game? Well, it's to help people save their money and not buy the game because it's piss poor awful, or to buy the game because it's freaking fantastic. Basically, the first one we're going to start off with today is Fallout New Vegas. Oh, Fallout New Vegas. First off, just let me say, this is what the experiences that I have had with the game and how I feel about the game, and this is not how necessarily how others will feel about the game. Like, they will have different reactions to it. This is how I feel about it. This is my experience with it. This is my critique upon it, and so and so. So, first off, Fallout New Vegas. Not a bad game. Not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to be covering a few things. It's basically playability. Well, actually, I'm just going to go through how I felt about it. Basically, the game was overpriced expansion content. That's basically what it was. It was overpriced downloadable content. And it sucks because it had the potential to be a really good game. But basically, I think Obsidian kind of said, okay, we really didn't add anything new except for a new terrain and a few new weapons and a new storyline, but of course that doesn't matter. Every game has to have that, especially an RPG of this nature. But they didn't add anything new compared to Fallout 3 and how far it came from the originals. Like, Fallout 1 and 2, those were old games. Like, they weren't even made by Bethesda. They were a reboot of a classic series. So, to see Fallout New Vegas kind of get treated as a cash cow, which basically it was, sucks, because that's pretty much all it was a cash cow. A way for them to get money. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, but anyways, we're going to go through a few of the screenshots just to see what the game looks like. I imagine most people have already bought this game, or if not, have moved on to bigger and better things. Okay, so, next. It's just basically stuff you'll all have seen before. The game was extremely overpriced. It was still glitchy as hell when it was released. The three factions, let me get started on those. The three factions you'll have are the NCR, which is the New California Republic. Caesar's Legion, which was just a spin on the old Roman army that belonged to Caesar, and personally was nowhere, didn't have, the potential for it was immense. I mean, this is a reboot of the old Caesar army that conquered nearly all of Italy, all of Europe. And where did they go with that? They're a bunch of rundown guys wearing sports armor. They were not. All the factions are boring. All of them. And then the final faction is just basically you can sign with yourself. That's all. So I want to actually say this game was fun to play, but to be honest, when I played this game, playing through it, it just made me feel like playing Fallout 3 all over again. It's I didn't want to play it. I wanted to play Fallout 3, and this is coming from somebody that played everything that there was to Fallout 3, and I did play much of Fallout New Vegas. Why? Just because I could bring a complete view on this game. The modability of the game, yes, there are a lot of mods, and all of them look fantastic. So, if you want to get this game, get the game for the modding, because the mods look brilliant. There's just a zombie invasion mod, which I think was in Fallout 3 as well. But the mods are great, don't get me wrong. The side quests, really fun. You see in the background, that's a side quest. It was where you could just blow stuff up. It was hilarious. It was awesome. The side quests were great. But the weapons, there were like 3 new weapons. None of them really seemed interesting or new. The dialogue, notice how I'm just saying, That's what this game felt like to me. That was the experience I had when I played this game, was, meh. It's alright. Maybe. Maybe it's worth the price it was now. And let's go down to the price, shall we? On Steam, this dollars is $19.99, $20 United States dollars. For an expansion pack, which is basically what this is. Many people share this view with me. This game should have been a standalone expansion pack. For $20, it is worth the money. The price it came out as for $60? No, not worth the money. I was having an argument with Mitch a while ago, and he said it was good content. It was content, but it wasn't good. Okay? The characters are bland and boring. The only one that actually goes anywhere with this story is Boone and Arcade Gannon. Those are the only two, and the Arcade Gannon is the only one that actually has a major impact in the plot at the end. The ending of Fallout New Vegas is a severe letdown. By the time you get through with it, you're like, why did I even go through this? There was no point to it. Like, why? Because you didn't feel like you had any impact on the game. Like, the Caesar's Legion endings and the NCR endings and the solo faction endings, we'll call them, are very, very similar. So it doesn't really matter which side you go in, you're going to have similar endings. And that's pretty much all there was to this game. So the verdict for it by Metascore, and I don't really follow their reviews, but it was an 84 out of 100, and I believe IGN, say what you want about IGN, yes, they've done many, many, many bad reviews. They did hit the nail on the head. Yes, it is a good, solid game at its core, but at the end of the day, it's just more Fallout. Not changed in any way, it's just more Fallout. If you want to pick this game up now for $20 on Steam, go right ahead. It is probably worth the money now for $20, which is the price of a standalone expansion to date. It is worth the money as of now. Back then, not worth the money. I cannot, and even then, it's still buggy as hell, like the other Fallout 3 was. The story's not that. Just to roll it off, the enemies are boring. The guns are. Some guns really excel. Like, there was one gun that you could pick up in New Vegas, which, by the way, New Vegas was an incredible joke. It just there wasn't any substance behind it, and it just turned into a huge war between 3 gambling casinos. Boring. Anyways, but there was one gun you could pick up, and it basically called in this weapon called Archimedes, which was a solar airstrike type thing, and that was really cool. And some other weapons, pretty cool as well. But at the end of the day, the weapons were nothing special. Well, few of them excelled above the others. The story, nothing special. Nothing special. It was kind of like, meh. It could have been so much better. The characters, Boone, Arcade Gannon, those are exceptional characters. The others, you'll kind of go on a quest with them, and then it'll kind of end. Like, sometimes they don't go anywhere. Yeah, not very interesting. And that's pretty much all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, pick this game up now to continue the amazing Fallout universe. That's what this game is. It's just a continuation of that amazing Fallout universe we all fell in love with in 2008. And frankly, as critical as I am of this game, like I said, it is a good, solid game at its core, with the exception of the bugs. If anything, pick it up for PC just for the modding, because the modding looks exceptional. I wish I would have picked it up on PC. Maybe it would have been better, but as always, my reviews are one of a console gamer. Sometimes I'll do PC games, but I'm gonna be branching out. And by the way, I'm not a reviewer. This is not what I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to review games. I don't do that. I could never be a professional reviewer. This is just the experience I had with the game, and for Fallout New Vegas, it was meh. It didn't leave a huge impact on me, and frankly, I'm kind of critical about it. It wasn't as good as it could have been, and was all in all a gigantic disappointment. But like I said, pick it up to continue the storyline, and maybe do some of the side quests. The side quests are exceptional. But other than that, that's just pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a rating out of 5 or rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7. And maybe that's even being too generous. But rating out of 10, I'd give it a 7. It was a good, solid game, but it felt like an unfinished product that basically shouldn't have been a game. It should have been an expansion, and it was kind of just like Obsidian got greedy. So that's all Fallout New Vegas felt like to me. And, you know, Fallout 3 or Oblivion, if you've never tried those, you could always try those games. Much better games, much more fantastic games. But anyways, final rating for me is a 7 out of 10. Solid game, buggy, really buggy, bad story, average characters, average guns, with the exception of a few. That's pretty much all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, the thing that brings it atop the rest is the environment that you're in, which is that amazing Fallout environment that I mentioned before that we all fell in love in. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Crazed Something, or Crazed Gladiator, or Crazed blah 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 blah, whatever you want to call me. I have way too many names. I will see you next time.